மணமாலை சாற்ற கருணாகர கணபதியே கரமருளி காப்பாயே. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சலமென அகமே நினைப்பவர் அகத்தை வேறறுப்பாய் அருணாச்சலா. அழகு சுந்தரம் போல் அகமும் நீயும் கடினமாயிருப்போம் அருணாச்சலா. அகம் புகுந்தீர்க்கும் அககுகை சிறையாய் அமர்வித்ததென் கொல் அருணாச்சலா. ஆறு காலனை ஆண்டனை அகற்றிடு அகிலம் பழித்திடும் அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. இப்பழித புனை ஏன் நினைப்பித்தாய் இனி யார் விடுவார் அருணாச்சலா. விழும் மன்னையின் பெரிதருள் புரிவோய் இதுவோ உனதருள் அருணாச்சலா. உனையே மாற்றி ஓடாதுலத்தின் மேல் குருதியாயிருப்பாய் அருணாச்சலா. ஊர் சுற்றுளம் விடாதுனை கண்டடங்கிட உன்னழகை காட்டருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. என்னை அழித்திப்போதெனை கலவாவிடு இதுவோ ஆண்மை அருணாச்சலா. ஏன் இந்த உறக்கம் என்னை பிறரிருக்க இவ்வுணர்கழகோ அருணாச்சலா. ஐம்புலன் கள்வ அகத்தினில் புகும்போது அகத்தினில் இல்லையோ அருணாச்சலா. ஒருவனம் உன்னை ஒழித்தவர் வருவார் உன் சூரே இது அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. ஓங்கார பொருள் உயர்வில்லோ உனையாரறிவார் அருணாச்சலா. அவ்வை போல் எனக்கும் அருளை தந்தனை ஆளுவதும் அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா. அருணாச்சலம் வாழி அன்பர்களும் வாழி. भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ഹരിയാതീതരസീവര ധഗവാരിസഗുഗയിൽ അറിവായിരമി പരമാത്തുവൻ അരുണാചലരമണൻ പരിവാലുളം ഉരുഹാനല പരനാർന്നിട് ഗുഹയാർந்து அறிவாம் விழித்திரவாய் நிசம் அறிவாய் அது வெளியாம் அண்ணாமலையாய் அடியேனை ஆண்ட அன்றே ஆவியுடல் கொண்டாய் எனக்கோ குறையுண்டோ குறையும் குணமும் நீ அல்லால் என்னேனிவற்றை என்னுயிரே எண்ணம் எதுவோ அது செய்வாய் கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே. Shri Arunachalam. So yesterday we have seen how Bhagavan systematically he developed the thought of Bhakti Yoga. He said better to start with puja, which is easy to do because it involves only the physical body to the great extent. And then he says move on to japa and then dhyanam. He says dhyanam is superior than the japa and japa is superior than the puja. And puja also, first you have to start doing puja to a murti, to a vigraha, and then you have to see everything as his form. All the Pancha Mahabhutas, then the Surya and Chandra and the Jiva. And then you have to worship him in all the forms. And then japa also, it starts with stavanam, praising the Lord, stuti, kirtanam. And then slowly it becomes japa. First is louder and then softly and then manasika japa. That manasika japa itself becomes dhyanam, meditation. That's what he was saying. And there too, ajyadharaya shrotasasamam, like pouring the clarified butter from one vessel to the other, it should be unbroken. The dhyanam should be unbroken. Sarala chintanam viralata param, he said. So that is better to have uninterrupted, unbroken contemplation towards the Lord. And also he emphasized, instead of keeping the Lord as somebody else, if you can keep him as your own self in the heart, then that is the best way of meditating. That bheda bhavanam, that is not right. So we have to keep the Lord as our own self and then meditate. So thus meditating through the single pointed attention, you gain some strength. That is bhavana bhalad, he said. Then you transcend the thought processes. And then you go into a state of bhava shunya, meaning no modification, no thought modification. And there you abide in your own self. That is how he took us to the giddy heights. So through meditation, through thoughts, you transcend thoughts and go beyond thoughts. And there you abide as your own self. Then he said, Kristale mana swastata kriya. Bhakti yoga bodasya nishchitam. Uditta idathil odungi iruttal. Adu kanmam bhakti mundi para. Adu yogam jnanam. Uditta idam means what? From where the thoughts arises. There you abide. In that source you abide. So Kristale, from the heart. Heart means the core of the personality, alone the thoughts arises. Kristale mana swastata. Abide there in the source. That is, there is karma yoga, bhakti yoga, raja yoga, jnana yoga, and everything. Nishtita, meaning what? This is certain. There is no doubt about it. So therefore, according to Bhagavan, it is not knowing the truth. It is just being the truth, abiding in oneself. But that is also not enough, he is going to tell you. You have to abide there continuously. Till you achieve that manonasham, till the mind is totally destroyed. So that is the goal. So we have seen this yesterday, the essence of Bhakti Yoga. Now we shall move on to the Raja Yogam or Ashtanga Yogam. Amma chant 11th stanza.
Vayurodhana liyate manaha.
Vayurodhana liyate manaha.
Jalapakshivat rodha sadhanam.
Jalapakshivat rodha sadhanam.
Vayurodhanat liyate manaha.
Vayurodhanat liyate manaha.
Jalapakshivat rodha sadhanam.
Jalapakshivat rodha sadhanam.
Here, in the 11th verse, he says, Vayurodhanat. When you restrain your breath, Vayu. See, though it is said here as Vayu, in fact it is prana. Technically it is called as prana. So when you restrain the prana, what happens? Liyate manaha. The mind also get restrained. Liyate means what? The mind also become quiet, absorbed. Why? Because the prana and mind has got a very close association. When you restrain one, the other is automatically restrained. Actually, this is very evident actually. Why? When you are angry, you watch your breath.
Short breath.
No, it is so irregular. Like that. When you are so quiet and peaceful, you watch your breath. It is so shallow and it's so so regular. So therefore, the mind and its emotion and the prana has got very close association. This is all modern.
Put it in now. Don't answer.
So therefore, when you restrain the prana, the mind is also restrained. How? Like what? Jala pakshivad rodha sadhanam. Like jala pakshivad means a bird which has been caught in the net. Bird means what? It can fly anywhere. But if it is caught, it cannot move. Similarly, when you apply the brake of this pranayama, the mind cannot move. So pranayama helps. See, when the mind is very turbulent, you cannot sit for meditation or for Atma Vichara. Only when the mind is quiet, you can do something. So, someday we find mind to be really uncontrollable. Then Bhagavan advises, now you do some pranayama. So that the mind comes back and then it quietens. And then you can do dhyana or atma vichara or whatever sadhana. So this is Raja Yoga. See, Bhagavan didn't utter any word about yogasana at all. He straight away, he had gone into the pranayama. Because that is very important. And pranayama also, there are two types of pranayama. One pranayama is traditional pranayama. Meaning, you take the breath through one nostril and you hold the breath and then slowly you release the breath. Similarly, so this pranayama is a traditional pranayama. This you have learned from a teacher, good yoga teacher. Because it's not safe to just learn by yourself looking at a book or watching a video. You have to learn from a guru because we should not play with prana. See, I know a devotee who was practicing some sort of Kundalini yoga, something on his own. You know what? Something happened, something went wrong, and continuously he was hearing some noise in his ears. He went to so many doctors, but they said, we can't help you. It has to go by itself. Meaning, when you are not careful, when you practice all these things just by yourself, things can go wrong. If it goes wrong, it is very dangerous. So therefore, the traditional pranayama also, you have to learn from a teacher.
Is it working?
It's not working, that's okay. அவ்வளவுதான் உங்க பிராரப்தம். So, the second type of pranayama that has been advocated by Bhagavan Sri Ramana. Keep it to yourself. I'm free now, happy now. The second type of pranayama advocated by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is called as Vikshana pranayama. That is very simple actually. You know what Vikshana pranayama means? You need not do anything. என்ன அர்த்தம் கேட்டா, just watch the breath. See, when you just give your attention and watch the breath, you can feel the prana going in and then coming out, then going in and coming out. This is what in Buddhist philosophy called as Anapanasati they say. Meaning what? You just watch and observe. You don't try to do anything there. You need not slow down or you need not facilitate or enhance. Just watch the breath. When you go on watching the breath will become so shallow. And with that, the mind also becomes so quiet. So this Vikshana pranayama is very simple and we can practice. No harm done. So therefore, this pranayama is very important. If you learn pranayama from the right teacher and if you practice, your health would be wonderful. Because prana is responsible for all the physiological function inside you. Like circulation, blood circulation, like digestion, and even excretion. So prana is very important. And not only that, with proper pranayama, the mind also is quietened. How? Like jhala pakshivat, like a bird which is caught in the net. The mind also cannot move. But the other side of the story is, when the pranayama is stopped, once again mind starts. When you apply the brake, the car stops. When you take your feet from the brake, once again starts. But this pranayama helps. Unfortunately, in our parampara, we don't give much importance to pranayama. Because Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, when people asked him about yoga and all, he said, I don't believe in twisting the body. I believe in straightening the mind. He said. That is okay, but still, pranayama is an important thing. Pranayama is important. Going on to the next verse.
चित्तवायवश्चित्क्रियायुताः
चित्तवायवश्चित्क्रियायुताः
शाकयोद्वयी शक्तिमूलका
शाकयोद्वयी शक्तिमूलका
चित्तवायवश्चित्क्रियायुताः
चित्तवायवश्चित्क्रियायुताः
शाकयोद्वयी शक्तिमूलका
शाकयोद्वयी शक्तिमूलका
Chittavayava Chitkriyayutaha. Chitta means the mind. Roughly, see, Antakarna is classified into four: Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. But here, when you come to Bhagavan, he doesn't believe too much in this compartmentalization. Roughly, he uses one for the other. Here, Chitta means just he refers to the mind. And Vayuhu means prana. Chitkriyayutaha, meaning what? This mind is endowed with consciousness. It can think, it can feel, right? And this Vayu, that is responsible for all the activities, Kriya, Kriyayutaha. So mind means what? Seed of emotion. It is endowed with consciousness, therefore it can feel and can think. And Vayu means it is responsible for all the Kriya, the activity. So these two things are Shakayodhvayi, like two branches of the same tree. Shaka means branch. Shakayodhvayi means two branches of the same tree. Shakti Mulaka, meaning what? The root or the moolam of these two is one Shakti, Maya Shakti, the Shakti of the Lord. Lord Shakti. Therefore, since because they are like two branches, when you restrain one, automatically the other thing is restrained. Because they are from the same source. Our Acharya used to explain, if there is a chair, let us say, with four legs, Narkali is, and Sri Lankan people call it as Kadirai. When they say Kadirai, we don't understand what is Kadirai. They say Kulusai. What is Kulusai? So, in that Narkali, the chair with four legs, if you push one leg, if you just pull one leg, the other three legs come together, right? Why? Because they are all connected. Similarly, this mind and this prana is all connected, meaning it has got one root. So therefore, when you restrain one, automatically other is restrained. So therefore, either through traditional methods or through this Vikshana Pranayama, if you allow the prana to settle down, then the mind also is restrained. So you try next time. When you lie down in your bed and you don't get sleep, then it starts. The mind, it starts. Sometimes it becomes uncontrollable. You don't know what to do with that. And the night becomes so long and you don't know when it is going to sort of get over. And the mind whirls, it goes on. So what we have to do, we should not think about anything else. Just watch the breath. You need not do anything. Just to watch the breath going in, coming out, going in, coming out. You will find the mind to quieten down. Why? Because this Chittam and this Vayu, who are the Prana, they are the two branches of the same tree, which is rooted in Shakti Mulaka, Bhagavan Shakti. And our Acharya always used to say, because of this, these two are like Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti means what? You decide, yes, I am convinced about this, I will do this way. This is Jnana Shakti. Kriya Shakti means what? Actually doing things. He says, when the Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, when they oppose each other, when they cancel each other, you will be drained and you will have no Shakti. Meaning when you decide about something and you do the opposite, for example, you decide, from tomorrow onwards I am going to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Why? I am inspired now, I am going to do meditation. That is, you have decided, Jnana Shakti. Why? You have thought about it, you understood it's a wonderful thing, I am now a seeker, I am going to do this. When the alarm rings, then you feel, oh my God, it's so cold today now. And yesterday I slept very late. Body is very tired. The mind gives 101 excuses. Then comfortably you put off the alarm. Now there is another thing called a snooze.
Yes.
No, what is that nonsense? It goes on ringing after 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then you go back to sleep. Meaning what? You have decided something. You yourself decided some Jnana Shakti. With Jnana Shakti. And you go the opposite direction while implementing it. Meaning it cancels each other. Such people cannot achieve anything in life. If you decide something, if you can do that. If you decide something, if you can do that, then you become a great person. Why? Because you yourself watching yourself. And from within there is a positive energy. Yes, I can do it. If I decide, I will do it. But when you can't do it, there is a negative force from within. But nothing happens. You can't. You give up. So nobody need to discourage us. Our own mind will say, what up? See? So this is very important. We can fall in anybody's eye, but we cannot fall in our own eyes. When we fall in our own eyes, it's very dangerous. We are there with us for 24/7, right? We know what we are doing. We know our motives. So if we are not honest, sincere with ourselves, we lose respect in our own eyes. That is the real tragedy of human existence here. So therefore, this Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, they are rooted in Bhagavan Shakti. When they become together, the Bhagavan Shakti expresses through you. When they cancel each other, then though the Bhagavan Shakti is there within us also, but it cannot express. That is why Swami Vivekananda was great. But the others are just ordinary. Why? Because he had got that Jnana Shakti and that Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti and that Kriya Shakti. That we have to cultivate. So therefore, here, these two are the two branches of the same tree. Therefore, one is restrained, the other is automatically restrained. Okay? So moving on.
Laya vinashane ubhayarodhane.
Laya vinashane ubhayarodhane.
Layagatam punar bhavati no mritam.
Layagatam punar bhavati no mritam.
Laya vinashane ubhayarodhane.
Laya vinashane ubhayarodhane.
लयगतं पुनर्भवति नो मृतम्
लयगतं पुनर्भवति नो मृतम्
Laya Vinashane Ubhaya Rodhane. There are two types of restraining this prana. Ubhaya means two types. Rodhane, restraining. This is called as Laya and Vinasha. One is called as Laya, another is called as Vinasha. What is the difference between these two? Laya Ghatam Punarbhavati. When you restrain it, and if it is only layam, that mind which has become quiet, absorbed, punarbhavati, it comes out again. But vinasha means what? Once when it is destroyed once and for all. It cannot come again. See, when you restrain the prana, the mind is also restrained. Right? But in that also, if you just restrain your prana and stop there, till the effect of pranayama is there, the mind is controlled. Once when that is released, mind also comes out. Because in this, the vasanas are not destroyed. That is the important thing. Jada samadhi in Bhagavan Swaroopananda. Jada samadhi means without conscious effort, by some hook or crook, if you go into some samadhi state, it is called as Jada samadhi. Some people can just go into that Jada samadhi and sit there for days together, months together. But it is not useful. Because when you come out of that samadhi, the cause, which is the vasanas for the samsara, is not removed. Therefore the samsara is alive.
Is it the same as Savikalpa Samadhi?
See, Savikalpa Samadhi also to some extent through conscious effort. But Bhagavan talks about Jada Samadhi. See, without involving the attention, without being aware, if sometimes the mind, because of some external factor or because of your will, if it just goes into some sort of a layam, it can come back again and nothing has happened inside. That moment, yes, the mind is restrained. Like in the deep sleep also, the mind is restrained. But it comes out with all the vasanas, the same person. See, Bhagavan always used to narrate this story. Once a great yogi, he was sitting in meditation. Before going into samadhi, he felt thirsty. So he asked his disciple, can you bring some water? Before he just went into that samadhi. And he sat there for months together, for an year. And then when he opened his eyes, he asked, where is my water? Meaning, the mind has gone inside and it has not dissolved. The same vasana has come out. See, sometimes when you go to sleep, next day, 3 o'clock, you have to get up to catch a flight at 4:35, let us say. Or a very important meeting or something. You cannot miss it. You cannot afford to miss it. Can you sleep? The mind will like. But sometimes, if you are a very sincere student or whatever, the mind will wake you up. 5:30 is the class, means 4:30 you will be automatically awake. 4:30 alarm adikadhu munnadi 5 minutes you will be awake. So the mind is a very, very peculiar instrument. So here in the laya, what happens? The mind gets absorbed, but it is Jada Samadhi because this is very important. That is why Bhagavan's Atma Vichara Marga is very important. There, we are giving attention to oneself. There consciously we are focusing our attention on the self, and with that conscious attention the mind is getting dissolved. Therefore it is something extraordinary. But through some technique, if the mind gets absorbed without this awareness, then it goes into something called as Jada Samadhi. And then the mind comes out with all the inherent vasanas, and there is no use. But Vinasham means what? When the mind goes consciously, abides in the self, there the vasanas are roasted, it is destroyed. And then there is a chance that the mind will be destroyed totally. See, for some it may happen just like that, but for many it will not happen that way. Slowly and steadily the vasanas would be reduced. So that's why Bhagavan says, again and again you have to abide. And you have to abide. And you have to abide. Till the last enemy comes out of that fort. The enemy is fort. You should go on killing him. So similarly, till the last thought arises, you have to inquire and find out the source of the thought and abide in it. Then the mind is destroyed. Once when the mind is destroyed, it will not arise anymore. That is Manonasham. That is the ultimate goal. Bhagavan says that is the ultimate goal. So many Manonasham Aishna, but every word don't worry. Manonasham Analame. By His grace, everything happens. Don't doubt that. How? Don't howl here. You go there and see how it happens. But Acharya says, wailing and howling. Why? How? Stop this wailing and howling. Then only you know what it is. So even when the mind gets absorbed, there are two ways. One is just getting absorbed into something called as Jada Samadhi, where the mind comes out again with full vigor. See, that is why, without understanding, if you just sit for meditation, nothing will happen. I am telling you. Again and again I am telling you. See, people go and learn some postures, some yogasana, and then Hatha Yoga practices, some sort of Nadi Shuddhi, some sort of pranayama, and other things, so many things which I don't know really. And then they go on doing it for the whole life, only that. Yes, it has got its own benefits, health benefits it has got, the mind also quietens, it's all good. The intellect becomes bright, sharpened, that's all fine. But our goal is not that. The mind has to be destroyed once and for all. Why? That is moksha. For that, Bhagavan says, consciously you have to learn to withdraw, consciously you have to focus attention on oneself, and consciously you have to abide there. That is why Vidithiru என்பது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான காரியம். To be alert and awake, that is very important. That is why sattva is very important. Without sattva, when we are tamasic or rajasic, this will never happen. As I told you the other day, if we are tamasic, we cannot be awake. If we are not awake, there is no use of our sadhana. If you are rajasic, you will be awake, but the mind is so turbulent, running here, there, everywhere. When you are sattvic, you are awake and your mind is quiet. That is very desirable. So, with all awareness, one has to withdraw from the external, from the world, and one has to focus attention, asking, who am I? And then focusing attention on the self, you have to abide there. Hristale mana swastatha. That we have to achieve conscious. So when that is practiced again and again and again, when you gain that abidance, see, to get a glimpse is not that difficult. Just like that, some people can get a glimpse of it. But to abide there continuously is not a joke. That requires a lot of hard work. Because we are swimming against the current. Because the vasanas are pushing us out again and again. And we are trying to focus within. So therefore that is not a joke. So only when all the vasanas are destroyed, then the mind totally get absorbed and it will no more comes out. And that is vinasham. Swami, இப்படிலாம் சொன்னாங்க எங்க போவோம் முதல்ல உட்கார்ந்து மனசை ஆசுவாசப்படுறதுக்கே முடியலைங்களா? It's all possible. See, in fact, when you know what Bhagavan is talking, it's very simple actually. And it's wonderful because நான்கிற உணர்வு இருக்கே, அந்த உணர்வு ரொம்ப அதி அற்புதமான உணர்வு. அதில் எஃபர்ட்லெஸ்ஸாக இருக்க முடியாத ஒரு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. அதோடையே சேர்ந்து உள்ள அமிழ்ந்தோன்னு சொன்னா ரொம்ப எஃபர்ட்லெஸ்ஸாக கிளைட் பண்ணி ஸ்வரூபத்திலேயே நிலைக்கக்கூடிய சாத்தியக்கூறு நிறைய இருக்கு. நம்ம எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட் தான் பண்றது. We don't experiment with it. We only intellectualize it. And we ask, how is it possible? Is this possible? Is that possible? First of all, we should not too much intellectualize. When you come to Bhagavan, He never allows you to intellectualize things. You experiment. You focus your attention on whatever you understand about Atma, the self, I. Don't worry. Whatever you understand about I, the self, you focus your attention on that. Then slowly everything happens. With His grace, things happen. So therefore, even in the absorption, there are two types. The best type is vinasham. The mind should not come out again. In spite of that, you can do all your vahara. In spite of Janaka Maharaja was a great jnani, but he was a great king too. He was doing everything. Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji, a great jnani, but he was roaring like a lion everywhere. Is that not so? Or Kanchi Mahaperiyava, was he not a jnani? He was going all around, Padayatriyave. And how much he has done to this society, to this world. It is all possible. See, we have a notion that Mahatma who is in the cave always meditating is really a great Mahatma. One who is going out into the world for Loka Kalyanam, Paravalla, avada konjam korachada. These are all the notions we have. It is not so. For them, abiding or getting absorbed and working in the world, both are one only. It is said in the Ulladhanarpada Anubandham. Vandi Tuilvan Pola and Solapatikanta. So therefore, this state is desirable. What? Manonasham. But that will not happen through pranayama alone. Please understand. Swami Tapon Maharaj, Gurudev's Guru, he has said very emphatically, this prana is jada. Only through that jada vastu, you cannot gain awareness in the Chaitanya vastu. Very simple and straightforward logic. Prana is jada, whatever said and done. By restraining the prana, howsoever, through that sadhana of restraining a jada vastu, you cannot gain awareness in the Chaitanya vastu. So therefore he says that is very helpful for restraining the mind to some extent. But when you stop it, that is not enough. Therefore in the next words, Bhagavan beautifully says, what we have to do next.
Pranabandhanat leena manasam.
Pranabandhanat leena manasam.
Ekachintanat nashametyadaha.
Ekachintanat nashametyadaha.
Pranabandhanat leena manasam.
लीनमानसम्
एकचिन्तनात् नाशमेत्यतः
एकचिन्तनात् नाशमेत्यतः
ஒடுக்க வழியை ஒடுங்கும் முழத்தை விடுக்கவே ஓர் வழி உந்தி பர வீயும் அதன் ஒரு இந்தி பர. ஒடுக்க வழியை ஒடுங்கும் முழத்தை விடுக்கவே ஓர் வழி உந்தி பர வீயும் அதன் ஒரு உந்தி பர. Meaning what? The same thing. Prana bandhana. When you restrain the prana through kumbhaka, if you can keep it within you, prana bandhana, leena manasam. The mind gets absorbed temporarily. That is what leena manasam. But after that, eka chintanat nashametyadaha. And practicing one pointed attention towards the lakshya, whatever may be the lakshya, the Lord's form or the mantra or some sort of jyoti or whatever it is. Eka chintanat, by applying your mind in the dharana, dhyana, meaning continuously meditating on one, nashametyadaha, the mind gets destroyed. So therefore in Ashtanga Yoga, first Yama Niyama, and then Asanam, and then Pranayamam, then Pratyahara, and then Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dharana means what? Continuously the mind should flow in one direction towards the Lakshya, towards the object of meditation. Continuously, that is very important. He said, Sarala Chintanam, he said, Viralata Param. So unbroken attention towards that lakshya. So only when you employ this mind which is now quiet in one point of attention, the mind will dissolve. ஆக விடுக்கவே ஓர் வழி உந்தி பர. So you have to make the mind to think about the one. ஓர் வழி means what? About the one. Viyum adanuru undi para. Then the mind will just see. One of our Swami, a great yogi, he used to tell me, even if you take, let us say, Lord Krishna as your Ishta Devata and you meditate on him, you should take only one form. See, one day you take Bala Krishna and you meditate on him. The second day you take Murali Manohara Krishna. And the third day, you Jagat Guru, Gita Acharya, Sri Krishna. No, he says. Why? Because the mind will not become one point. In Bhagavatam it is said very clearly, first you have to think about his, from the head downwards, towards his face, eyes,